This recording will be posted on the school's website in the next few days, so if you would like to go back and check it out, you will be able to do so. Now, I'm pleased to introduce our Dean, Dr. Shanti Johnson.
Thank you, Helen. I'm delighted to welcome our graduating class of Fall 2021, your family and friends, our guests, some of whom are our alumni, our faculty, staff, and students, Dr. Doug Wilson and Elder Bert Auger, to the School of Public Health's celebration of our graduates. There is no passion to be found in playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you're capable of living. I've always been drawn to this quote from Nelson Mandela. Graduating class of 2021, there is no question you're convocating at an unique and unforgettable time. The pandemic has thrown you innumerable curveballs, but it has also revealed your creativity, character, and resilience. You're not going to settle for a life that is less than the one you're capable of living, that I'm sure. The past couple of years have not been easy. You have worked so hard through the challenges in your path, persevered, and most importantly, you have been successful. I'm so very proud of each of you. My heartiest congratulations on reaching this important milestone. Even though we are not physically together, it's an honor to be here with you to congratulate and recognize you, our doctoral and master's graduate, as well as those students who are completed the embedded certificates this year. We have a cohort of 32 graduates and 4 who are receiving their embedded certificate in communicable diseases and community-based research and evaluation. Let me request our graduates to turn on their videos if you choose, so we can recognize you. And so for all the others joining, please chat out your wishes to our graduates and use the icon that is sort of at the bottom of your screen to recognize our graduates. Immense thanks and love to all our graduates who are graduating this year. The class of Fall 2021 will be remembered for generations to come. You're the public health graduates who lived through this incredibly complex, long, and complicated public health crisis in 100 years. And now you get to apply your learnings and experiences to innovate and develop solutions to the most pressing public health and societal challenges we face. I can name several: infectious diseases, climate and environmental challenges, health inequities, and improving the lives of people and communities across the globe. You will have your work cut out for you. Despite the growing evidence of inequity and relentless advocacy, there are substantial gaps in meaningful inclusion and health equity for many vulnerable people and groups. Inclusion has been really top of mind for me. Public health is about transdisciplinary and intersectoral approaches, but I continue to see so much boundary keeping and exclusion. This needs to change. Inclusion enriches us all. Forge a new era of inclusion and social equity. Be bold in your journey. As you all know, public health aims to protect health and to prevent illness and injuries by identifying the root causes to foster wide-reaching solutions at the population level. Addressing these persistent problems is important more than ever. Public health is about what we can do collectively that we cannot do individually. It's more than a health discipline, with a strong commitment to understanding and changing the interconnectedness of the structural, social, environmental, economic, and political factors locally, nationally, and globally that shape the capacities of our populations and societies and contribute to the health and vitality for all. It also works to ensure that all people have equitable opportunities to enjoy good health and well-being, which is a necessary precondition to a thriving economy, an equitable, inclusive, and diverse society. Your remarkable resilience and the skills, competencies, and capacities you have gained through this journey will serve you and our communities well. Always, but particularly during this time of the global pandemic, your commitment to social justice, inclusion, change, and hope is inspiring. Your dedication to the importance of community and your collective commitment to advocacy on behalf of the most vulnerable and the most challenging public health causes make me feel good about our future. As you move forward in your careers, continue your effort to sustain collaborative partnerships as you find new ways to advocate for individual, organizational, community, and social well-being and inclusion. And remember never to take away their agency, even with the best of intentionality. You will join an alumni community of social advocates and change makers who share a commitment to promoting social justice and well-being in our communities near and far, in which they live and work. So stay connected. The relationship you have built with your peers, faculty, and staff at the School of Public Health and our community partners and others will serve you well. We will have to depend on each other, building on the trust and relationship that you have built. I'm confident that your professional paths forward will be filled with challenges to solve, exploration, joy, and satisfaction as you use your skills and talents and capacities in part learned here in our school to improve their lives and to make the world a better and healthier place. Lead the way in public health to find solutions that will transform the world and to create an equitable, more inclusive, and healthier futures for all, not just for the privileged few. On behalf of the School of Public Health, I want to offer my warmest wishes for your health and safety and a heartfelt admiration for all that you have accomplished. Heartiest congratulations to all the graduates of Fall 2021. Again, a big round of applause for all our 32 graduates. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. Norm Newman, who is our Vice Dean, to bring greetings to the graduates on behalf of the senior leadership team. Norm?
Great, thanks, Shanti, and it's great, absolutely fantastic to see so many familiar faces in the crowd here. So congratulations to all of you. And it's unfortunate we couldn't get together, but we always have to look at the bright side. I have a fellow by the name of Robert Orban who says, a graduation ceremony is an event where the commencement speaker tells thousands of students dressed in identical caps and gowns that individuality is the key to success. So the bright side is we're all individuals. We get to see each other's faces. Could you imagine if this was in person and wearing the same gowns and having face masks? So we always have to look at the bright side of things, and congratulations to all of you. And we don't just celebrate your group achievement in Convocation, but we want to celebrate each one of you as individuals. And when I say individuals, I mean that to the very sincerest thing, as colleagues in public health, partnerships. So you're also partners and collaborators. And all of us are focused on a vision of doing what we think is best for society. And so as Dr. Johnson kind of reflected on, the last couple of years have been somewhat challenging, and maybe that's a bit of an understatement and a cliche, you know, to say that the world is a lot different today than it was 2 years ago, perhaps when you started your programs, or for some of you who are graduating with MSc, PhD, maybe even further. But, you know, has it really changed? Or have the events in the last couple of years due to the pandemic simply, you know, shed some new light on some old problems? if you were to just sit back a moment and think about the determinants of health and everything you learned about, how has our understanding of the determinants of health changed in light of the pandemic? So if you look at things like income and social status, you know, how has the pandemic reflected and brought to light the difficulties in income and social status and the potential for a disruption of social supports and networks for vulnerable populations? How much more has it accentuated kind of the problem? What about environmentally? How many of you, if you were to walk down the street, ever notice just how many disposable masks are sitting out on the streets and byways? You know, the Ministry of Finance in Japan estimated that usage of masks in Japan alone exceeded 600 million masks a month. Each mask takes about 50 to 60 grams of carbon to produce. So even just producing masks for the pandemic in Japan contributed close to 36 million tons of carbon dioxide into the air. So as Dr. Johnson talks about climate change, how has kind of COVID reflected that? What about things like employment and conditions? And it goes back to socioeconomic. Who can't afford to stay away from work? Has it reignited and highlighted some of the vulnerabilities? And perhaps how those people get to work in transportation and how we build cities in our built environment. We know that in the case of New York City, when the first wave hit, that it was the LRT or the transportation systems that spread the virus throughout the city. What about access to healthcare? How has the overfilling of our hospitals kind of impacted healthcare? You know, so when you really think about it, these are problems that existed. So what has really COVID done? You know, COVID is like, the best is like a pair of glasses, right? We see what we always knew was there. We just see it a little bit clearer. It's kind of like a hearing aid, you know, you start hearing the voices that were crying for help in the first place. You know, it's kind of like when you think about taste, it's like a new flavor on an old dish, or a new aroma, or a pungent aroma of coffee from a bold cup of coffee compared to a mild, you know. And so, you know, what COVID has done, I think, when we look back and see it, just how important public health and how this has really heightened everybody's awareness, our awareness, your awareness of the public health issues that face us. And so it's been made real, I think, to us. And in some ways, it's been an exciting time to learn, even given the challenges that we have. We always, again, have to look at the bright side of things. But at the same time, never has public health been more threatened, I would say, as well, too. And what do I mean by that? It means, what about vaccine hesitancy and resistance? What does it mean that although we've got a new appreciation of vaccines, what do we see happening in terms of vaccine resistance and hesitancy in the World Health Organization's recognition that this is one of the top 10 problems that public health has to deal with? How do we justify or look at civil liberty versus public health action and the growing frustration that the public has with lockdowns and everything that's happening? You know, what about climate change? New and more addictive drugs that are hitting the streets. Globalization, how is it impacting how we deliver public health? Social and eco-justice, population growth and planetary capacity. There's just massive public health problems that really still exist. And so, you know, I'd encourage you all as you go, you are the agents of change. You need to not just be advocates, but persistent advocates for change. You know, there's a fellow by the name of Will Rogers once said, even if you're on the right track, you will get run over if you just sit there. We can be on the right track, but public health is constantly moving. And we need, you know, you as partners in moving out into public health to help us move that train forward. You know, more than ever, do we need you to be the agents of change, because hopefully you have also changed as a result of your learnings in public health. You know, hopefully you are more convinced and more passionate about public health as you leave than when you came in. The world needs more public health influencers, more public health visionaries. And you folks are that agents of change. You need to go out into the world and make the world see what you see, to feel what you feel, to hear what you hear. but for you also to see what the world sees, to hear what the world hears, and feel what the world feels. Okay, and so your degree is more than a piece of paper to put a fancy frame and hang on a wall. It's a license for leading this change that we so desperately need. There was a fellow by the name of Ignacio Ellacuria who gave a commencement address at Santa Clara University in 1982. And he was quite a person who had open thoughts, and he was murdered in 1989 for his ideologies. He was from Nicaragua. And he said this, he said, there are two aspects to every university. The first and most evident is that it deals with culture, with knowledge, the use of intellect. The second aspect, and not so evident, is that it must be concerned with social reality, precisely because a university is inescapably a social force. It must transform and enlighten the society in which it lives. We as an intellectual community must analyze causes, use imagination and creativity together to discover the remedies to our problems, communicate to our constituencies a consciousness that inspires the freedom of self-determination, educate professionals with a conscience who will be the immediate instruments of such a transformation, and constantly hone an educational institution that is both academically excellent and ethically orientated. You know, we don't stop going to school just because we graduate. Life is school, school is life, and life is a lifelong journey of learning. So if you listen to people, keep an open mind, try to understand, if you're patient, if you weigh all the evidence and you stand up for what you believe to be good, public health will be the most rewarding career you can ever imagine. And so congratulations to all of you as you go into the workforce and become public health agents of change. Thanks.
Thank you, Norm. Next, I would like to welcome Erin Pollock, lead in the practice office, to share her greetings on behalf of the faculty.
Thanks so much, Helen, and welcome to all of our new graduates. This is so exciting. I mean, we've got 4 degrees represented here, probably 1 billion specializations, 600,000 classes, 1,200 Zoom boxes. And I might be making up all the numbers, but it doesn't really matter because guess what? You're done and you never have to really listen to us lecture again. So this is the end for you. And we are so proud that you made it through. That you made it through. That sounded terrible. What I mean is I was looking through our list of graduates, and if anybody else wants to take a look, it's really quite interesting because we have graduates that have been specifically on campus, graduates who never intended to ever be on campus because of the distance program. We have graduates who kind of were on campus and then they had to go off campus, and some of them have come back to campus. So it really is this amazing mash of educational modalities that you have been through as students. And you gave us the grace to figure it out, to figure out the best ways to impart all of our wisdom on you, and you were able to figure out how to best fit this work into the lives you already lead. I know some of you were doing it with kids in the background as I was. Some of you have taken the long road to get to the end of this program. Some of you started in one faculty and now you're in another faculty. There's been a lot of things that aren't just about the pandemic that you figured out a system of resilience. And I have to say that's pretty awesome. Now, I'm connected to some of you through the MPH program, but there's probably somebody like me in every single one of your educational journeys. And that person is watching this right now and thinking how proud they are. I think Norm makes a really good point about the gowns and the fact that we preach individuality, but then we do this cattle call across the stage. But every single one of us remember our students. We remember the conversations that we've had, and we remember the the joy you've brought to our lives and the utter frustration, but it's one of the, like, we never forget students, especially in this small school. So I think we all want to say congratulations. You've done amazing. And Norm stole my terminology of agents of change, because I really hope you are agents of change in the future, but I'll let him have that one. I want to congratulate every single one of you. I want to thank you for bringing your personal life into our lives. So that's not something that we would have ever gotten in person. I probably would have never met your dog. I would have never seen what your bedspread looked like. And I think what that gave to us as faculty was that you're more than just students. You are actually whole people that are going to change the world one day. And that's pretty awesome. So my final comment is about what your future looks like. And this pandemic and the world has really kind of taught us that I think you should think about going to a place you love. Go do work you love. Go chase the dreams that you love, be surrounded by the people you love, and make sure that your career path is something that, and I say this to the practicum students, it's something that you actually want to wake up and do every Monday morning. Sure, you have to wake up on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, etc., but Mondays are always the hardest one. So when you think about what your next steps are, think about what do Monday mornings look like for you and what do you want them to look like. So on behalf of the faculty and your instructors and all of us that wear that hat, congratulations. We're happy to call you colleagues. And I am very excited to bring you all on as practice partners for the future MPH students.
Thank you, Erin. Next, I would like to welcome Hannah Hamilton, and she will share her greetings on behalf of the SPH staff.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of the staff and the School of Public Health, it is my honor to congratulate you all on your accomplishments during these really unprecedented times. And as you look back on this day years from now, I hope that you can remember your resilience and creativity and optimism as you overcame the really unique challenges that you faced. We know that you'll continue to make a difference in the communities that you serve, and that your proven passion for public health will continue to make lasting and meaningful differences in the lives of those around you. It was our honor and delight to support you in your education. And while we wish we could have spent more time together in person, we really are energized by the relationships we have built with you, each and every one of you. And we look forward to following your future achievements as school alumni and seeing the positive impact you will have on the future of public health. Congratulations, and we hope you enjoy this accomplishment and actually take some time to rest.
Thank you, Hannah. I now invite Dean Johnson to introduce our next speaker.
Thank you, Helen, and thank you, Norm, Erin, and Hannah for the beautiful greetings and wishes. Our students are our agents of change, and the future is bright with our cohort going out into the public health arena, making a change in the areas that they're passionate about. They love to wake up to every Monday morning. It is now my pleasure to introduce the School of Public Health's Alumni Chapter Chair, Caitlin Thiel. Caitlin earned her Master's of Public Health and Health Promotion in 2010. She began working at the Ever Active School in 2012 and has never looked back. Her passion for physical activity, working with children and youth, aligned perfectly with the organization's mission and vision. At the Ever Active School, Caitlin currently acts as the Comprehensive School Health Coordinator and a team lead. Within her portfolio, she oversees the development of resources, coordinates events, and manages operations team. Through all of her work, Caitlin assures a lens of comprehensive school health that is taken. Some project highlights from her years in Ever Active School include working with fellow alumni on committees looking at healthy eating environments, supporting schools to think differently about active permissive spaces, and working with urban indigenous youth to receive certification and high school credits to support them in working in the recreation and active living sector. Caitlin will now share her greetings and introduce the next speaker. Caitlin?
Thank you. Extremely warm hello to everyone here today, and a huge congratulations to you all. I am so grateful to have the opportunity to join you in celebrating on this very special day, and really in celebrating you, even though it's from behind screens. What a time, I think it's been said a few times already, to have been completing a degree in public health. You've had to face unique challenges throughout your studies during this time of isolation. As much as online classes may have felt like a lonely pursuit, it is my hope that you still felt connected, that you arrived here today because you developed relationships with each other, with your faculty, and with the school, and that you learned from one another and grew together. As the chair of the School of Public Health Alumni Chapter, also known as SPAC, it is my absolute pleasure to formally welcome you as members. You are no longer students, so this marks a new relationship with the school. As alumni, you will be ambassadors of the school, you will be mentors to its students, and you'll be advocates of the public health values that it teaches. The mission of our alumni chapter is to champion and foster a sense of community among School of Public Health alumni. We offer professional development, as well as social and volunteer opportunities so that you can stay connected with each other, with the school and its students, and continue to learn and network from others in this sector. So please accept this invitation to join our alumni community and learn more about how we can keep working together. Now, I would like to invite you to join me in welcoming Dr. Douglas R. Wilson. Dr. Wilson is a friend, colleague, and champion of the School of Public Health and the University of Alberta. He graduated from the Faculty of Medicine at the University of Toronto with the gold medal, and then undertook specialty training in internal medicine and nephrology in Vancouver, Toronto, Boston, and London, England. Dr. Wilson subsequently joined the staff of the University of Toronto and Toronto General Hospital, where he led the development of the kidney transplant program, practiced as a consulting nephrologist, and launched the nephrology training program. He was actively involved in clinical and laboratory research in kidney disease, publishing more than 120 scientific papers over 17 years, while becoming professor of medicine and director of the Division of Nephrology. In 1984, Dr. Wilson joined the University of Alberta as Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, a position he held for 10 years. During this period, the faculty greatly expanded its clinical and research staff, updated its educational programs, substantially increased its research funding and facilities, and established close working relationships with the other health science faculties and with teaching hospitals. Following his service as Dean, Dr. Wilson's principal academic activities shifted to population health, health promotion, and public health. He was instrumental in establishing the Interdisciplinary Center for Health Promotion Studies and chaired the Provost Task Force for recommended establishing Canada's first standalone faculty dedicated to public health right here at the University of Alberta. Dr. Wilson served as senior advisor to the Dean following the formation of the School of Public Health in 2006. In this role, he provided leadership to numerous complex initiatives, which included developing the school's first set of faculty evaluation committee guidelines. Dr. Wilson is a fellow of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada and of the American College of Physicians. His contributions have been recognized by awarding of the Canadian Public Health Association Honorary Life Membership Award in 2002 and Certificate of Merit in 2006, the Royal College of Physicians KJR Whitman Visiting Professorship in 2004, and the Alberta Centennial Medal in 2005. He was appointed as a fellow of the Canadian Academy of Health Sciences. That is quite the resume. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Doug Wilson to recite the pledge.
want to thank Caitlin for that very kind introduction. It's graduation is a wonderful time for all of us who participated in any way at all with the students that are being honored today. And I think it's a wonderful experience for everyone. I have been very fortunate in my career to have some transitions which were extremely rewarding, and I'm sure many of you will have those during your careers beginning today. I started my work with individual patients suffering from life-threatening kidney disease, and caring for them as individuals. It was clear to see that the circumstances in which they were living were a major determinant of how well they were going to manage with their serious illness. And as I finished with my career in kidney disease, I transitioned. It was a great pleasure to be able to transition to working in population health and public health, to look at the broad determinants of health that had so influenced these patients. With your master's degree in public health, you will have many rewarding opportunities to prevent chronic disease and injury, to protect health, and to participate in a wide variety of health promotion activities. I want to wish you all the very best in your future endeavors, and congratulations from all of us, and particularly my personal congratulations. And now I would ask you to, graduates, to mute your microphones, and we will proceed to recite the Pledge of Public Health. Are we ready to go? As a public health professional, my mandate is to protect and promote the health of the public. Public health addresses the health equities. Public health addresses health inequities, works towards population wellness, and implements in health and wellness. It is a field
that transcends all borders. It focuses on preventing injury and illness, protecting health and wellness. At its core,
health is best for all of us. Guided by this, commit to the following. I affirm that health is a fundamental human right and strive to protect the right
for all individuals and communities.
I commit myself to excellence in all my work, holding myself to the highest ethical standards
as I practice in
the field of public health. I uphold the highest standards of dignity,
equality, and respect for the cultures, communities, and individuals I encounter.
I seek out information and partnerships
and
use the best available evidence to guide my work.
I
pursue opportunities to collaborate through interdisciplinary inquiry and to engage with the public, communities, and decision makers to advance public health practice and healthy public policy. I convey knowledge
to those around me in an appropriate and useful manner. I advocate for and create sustainable change in
communities and empower and encourage others to do the same. With this pledge, I commit myself to upholding
the ideals
of public health.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson, and thank you, Caitlin. We would now like to take a moment and take a picture of all of the graduates. Graduates, please turn on all of your cameras, and everybody else who's in attendance, please turn off your cameras for the moment, and we will take a photo on 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much, guys. I now invite Dean Johnson to introduce our next speaker.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Caitlin and Dr. Wilson, for your words of encouragement. And our students are now our colleagues, and our alumni network, our ambassadors for sure. We are pleased to have Elder Bert Oj participate in the convocation today. Elder Bert Oj is from Cree Nation and speaks his indigenous language fluently. He has also tried to teach me a couple of words in our meetings we've had. He's a member of the Whitefish Lake First Nations. He lives here in Edmonton, Alberta, with his wife, Juliet, of 42 years. He has 4 adult sons and 5 grandchildren. Bert has been an Aboriginal knowledge seeker and keeper since he was a little boy, learning from his grandfathers. Bert honors Aboriginal culture by following the teachings and guidance of several Indigenous elders. I really appreciated getting to know Elder Oj. I strongly believes in the respect and relationship that he builds with the people around him. And we are so very grateful that he's here with us today. So with this bundle of tobacco, I will kindly request him to share his greetings and teachings to our graduates. Elder Oj.
Thank you, Dr. Sane. And the tobacco was delivered to me in person a few days ago. Just a quick teaching around tobacco is if you want an elder to come speak to you or do some work with you, one of our traditional protocols is tobacco. It's one of our most sacred medicines that we have from the earth. But to teach you about that, I needed to say a couple things around Indigenous people, and I'm so honored to be here with you. I'm full of gratitude to be here, to be one of the speakers at your graduation. Such congratulations! You've now become superheroes in my heart. You're going to do work that's so important to us as Indigenous people, but also for all Canadians. I just wanted to do a quick blessing and then go on with my talk. And I wanted you to hear an ancient language that goes at least, according to the U of A, found Cree blood camp a few years ago, and carbon dated it to 12,000 years. Quick math tells me that's about 650 generations. And I'd say that with lots of emotion, because now as scientists start to find, anthropologists start to find our bones and our camps, we get older. I know personally I don't look old myself. If you look at me, right? It's 19,000 years in Quebec. So I thought, oh my God. And the elders have been teaching us. We've been here since time immemorial. Since time immemorial. So that's not 150 years. That's not 500 years. Since forever. So here's what the language sounds like, and then I'll continue my talk. It sounds like this. Noftawinan kitamantu kekaksiwatsi. So imnan umanos kakisagak. Matsun kakamiya. So imnan kakyo kapituspito. Tahtawi kapituspito. And then asami nagisagaw go. Creator, we ask that you bless these graduates in the work they're going to do. We ask that you watch over them as they go into their work site and then start their journeys in their career. We ask them to be good listeners and good speakers, to respect themselves and respect the people they work with. We ask them that they see another day, another sunset, and another morning. Thank you so much for bringing us here today. So as I raised my eagle feather, this eagle feather is very interesting in itself, because it was given to me by a blood elder. Historically, for thousands of years, the Bloods and Crees fought a lot, right? We stole horses off each other. We did all kinds of stuff for thousands of years. About 300 years ago, we made a peace treaty with the Blood Cree tribe, and the North Saskatchewan River is the boundary. The Bloods live south and we live north. So we're the Cree tribe, one of the biggest tribes in Canada. So I bring you greetings from all these people, like thousands of people, and used to be, we'd be millions of people here. And we're so honored that you're on this territory that we share now, Treaty 6 territory, and Turtle Island, which is Canada and the United States together. We're so happy that you're going to work here and you're going to work with us. I asked what Dr. Shanti initially said in her speech about inclusion and diversity. I ask you to keep that in your mind and in your heart. What does that mean to Indigenous people? It means inclusion, it means diversity. It means moving beyond tolerance. It's easy for us to sit in an elevator and look at the numbers as they change. That's tolerance, right? Wow, we're tolerating each other. We have to move beyond that. And when Shanti sent me to tobacco and she sent me an invite to come and join the School of Public Health as an elder, that was moving way beyond tolerance. That was not a step in the right direction, that was a leap in the right direction. So as you go forward to Native communities, Indigenous communities, remember that we are kind people. We have superheroes. We have over 24 NHL players. We have astronauts. We have Elliot Young among you as one of the master's graduates today. Those are superheroes to us because 30 years ago, we were scared of education. We were scared of RCMP people. We were scared of doctors. We were scared of lawyers. And we thought, no, this has to change. We have to move forward, but maintain our culture and our traditions at the same time. So we're forced to walk two roads. So we walk two roads, right? And sometimes that doesn't come with any pain, it comes with lots of pain, right, of historic injustices. But our jobs today, you and I, is to move that forward, right? It's you and I, Shanti, Norman especially, as we found him so accepting when I came to start this work with the School of Public Health. I get emotional when I think about that and how I told him about the moving beyond tolerance deal, right? Here, Norman, we got to do more than this. Like this is not enough. We've been moving towards you for years, moving towards Western society, right? See my feather? And here's society. We have to all move together, right? And learn each other's histories and cultures, because that's how you will get to know us. When I was going to school and I became a social worker, I had to know about Scottish people, Irish people, English people. Where's England? Where's Europe? What's that all about? I thought, but how's it going to help me in Whitefish Lake First Nation? Right? And how it helped me is we became related to each other. We intermarried with Scottish, Irish, English people. And in my blood flows not only the blood of the Cree people, but also the French people, right? My great-great-grandfather was a Frenchman, Frank Auger. And I just love saying that, right? I was born in a bush, and one of my ancestors was a Frenchman from Quebec, eventually from France. So that's what we need to do, right? Not only in public health, but in different disciplines. How do we get together? How do we get to know each other? So when Dr. Shanti says, Bert, could you come and teach us a little more about your culture? Yes, I will. I will go. And as hard as that seems, I had a dream that said this. And it eventually, I heard it in the song too, eventually, but I had a dream, he says, and it said in our language, which says, be kind, be courageous, and be strong. And in your journey, that's my message to you. Be kind, be courageous, and be strong. Hi, thank you for listening to me. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you very much, Elder Auger. I now invite Dean Johnson to provide her closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Elder Auger, for the generosity of your teaching to sending our students forward in a good way. And I think that's so important for this time and day and for the future generations to come. Graduates, Wherever your career and life take you on, I invite you to stay connected with us by updating your contact information with the university. You will stay up to date with the school news and be the first one to know about volunteer opportunities. Thanks, Erin, for the call to be our practicum placements, events, and other professional development offerings. This will also allow you to stay connected with the alumni chapter. As Caitlin talked about, you're our alumni and our strong ambassadors and agents of change. On behalf of the School of Public Health, I congratulate each of you on your accomplishment. We all look forward to seeing the impact of your work to promote, to protect, and improve the health of people and populations. We wish you well in all your future endeavors. Thank you all for coming. And graduates, I will turn on, once again, as sort of a ritual, I'll invite you to turn on your microphones and cameras, to move your tassel over to give yourselves a cheer on your achievement. This is a real special milestone. And so congratulations. Wonderful. This brings us to the end of the celebration, but never the end of our relationship. So I'm really looking forward to staying connected with you. And this is a first cohort I've never given hugs to or shaken hands with, but that there will be such a time, and I will very much look forward to meeting you in person, whether here in Alberta or somewhere around the world. Good luck, dear students, and we'll wish you all well. Thanks everyone for joining.